So thank you very much for inviting to this event. Very happy to be here. It's actually first time in MadCity, so I'm happy to see the big crowd. Firstly, I'll start with a very few slides what we actually do. So we are urban planning and design office. We work mainly with city municipalities or real estate developers, and we design master plans, city visions and strategies for neighborhoods, for redevelopment, for waterfronts, for big chunks of the city that are going to change. But we want the projects to be real. That's why we do extensive analysis to prove why it should be done like that, and we also prepare strategy how to implement that. But most of our team have some background education in architecture, and urban projects take years to be implemented, and we want to see things done. That's why we do quite a lot of urban public design, public space design projects. Mostly today I will show these projects. So parks, squares that are built, we can see and test how actually our ideas work in life. And lastly, urbanism is a lot about big parts of the city where many stakeholders involved. That's why we do quite a lot of public participation activities like discussions, debates, workshops, and so on, where people share their ideas and help us to evaluate the design. And today I want to share you three cases, three cities in Lithuania, Klaipėda, Kaunas, and Panevėžys, and projects that we did there and how the cities has changed. I'll start with the generic image of large-scale housing estates. You all have that kind of neighborhoods in your cities. Most of you have lived or are still living in that kind of neighborhoods. In Lithuania, the same. It's 2/3 of population live in large-scale housing estates, and unfortunately, they are old. Buildings are old and very much deteriorated emotionally and physically. But renewal of these neighborhoods is quite hard because the houses are privately owned. Therefore, to make decision to renew the house takes a lot of time. So the only place where municipality can intervene and change the life of the neighborhood a lot is actually to change the public space. In Klaipėda, we had an opportunity to work on a master plan of one of the first neighborhoods built in the 70s. It's actually, since one of the first neighborhood, it has the biggest population of old people, single-family households, but still it's a very big neighborhood, so you also have all another kind of people. We did a master plan, what to do with that neighborhood. Of course, we're thinking as well about houses, but you cannot do a lot, but then there was a vision how to improve courtyards, public spaces, streets, and municipality decided to direct EU fund to improvement of major public spaces. And the major public space in that neighborhood was a park. You see the picture in the 70s, so this huge land was in the middle of the neighborhood, was planted with oak trees. And in 50 years, it actually became a woodland in the middle of the city, which is nice from the biodiversity perspective, but not really nice if you are living because it's dark, it's boring, there are no paths, and it's not actually a park. So our goal was to make a park of that forest. And how we did it, so we firstly proposed to create a loop walking path that connects all the houses. The loop works like a little inside street where you run, jog, cycle, watch neighbors. And on one side of the loop, you have this active area with playgrounds, sport grounds for all kinds of activities, for planned activities like sport fields, but also just for hanging around, for groups, for girls or boys to meet and to do all the stuff outside. And on the other side of the loop, you have very calm area with pond, birds, rest islands. And there people, especially the older ones, they tend to come, hang out, meet others, and this is very relaxing and nice place. And if you continue walking this loop, you would end up in a local district square. When it was designed in the 60s, in 70s, it had quite exceptional modernistic layout and it was decorated with ethnic art elements. But of course, when we started the project, everything was deteriorated, dull, and it was like a huge parking in that square. So when we did the design, we wanted to keep the original nice qualities of the space, like this rectangular modernist shapes. Also, we renovated the ethnic art elements like these sculptures, but we also gave some new features, like new activities, like stage where kids are filming their TikTok videos, some fountain, some benches where people are hanging around in groups, or in couples, or alone, watching other neighbors. Also, playgrounds. Of course, next slide. You can go next slide. And that's how the space changed. So it used to be just like paths and some green, and now we have, now we have much more things happening. And let's say the houses of the neighborhood, they didn't change, but the overall atmosphere of the neighborhood changed a lot. And people from the other districts, they're also coming to that park. And when we have a chance to talk with these residents of the neighborhood, they say that, it's nice, we're very proud that our neighborhood have this nice park. So we didn't change the buildings, but the atmosphere of the neighborhood changed a lot. Now let's jump to another city. It's Panevėžys. It's fifth city in Lithuania. So if 10 years ago would someone ask, should I go to Panevėžys? So the answer would be like, no, it's a criminal city, industrial city, very boring, don't go. But if you would ask me today, should I go to Panevėžys? I would say, yes, you should definitely go. The city has changed a lot. It has the best museum, it has modern architecture, and it has an amazing network of public spaces because it did so many architecture competitions, and like many architects are involved, and we are happy that we were also those involved in the change of the city. And Panevėžys has this uniqueness that it has a river in the middle of the city, and all the public spaces are along the river, connected with bicycle routes, cycling routes, city center, housing areas. So you can move from one space to another. When we did competition, our goal was, the competition was like 7 years ago, then maybe. Our goal was to create more opportunities to be near the water and more opportunities for people to meet and hang out. And we also wanted to do some kind of postcard place in the city center that you would recognize that, it's our city center recognizable place. And we think we kind of achieved it. This is a public space just in the city center near the river. It's an old pond. We see this nice route that you can walk along. But actually the biggest change is the pathways in between upper level and higher level of the city. So the waterfront and the pond became much more accessible. All these links make access to the public space so much easier and so much nicer. We have the bridges to a nice island. In the island you have lounge chairs that you can catch the first sun, like in Lund, and it's very popular chairs. And you also have many opportunities to come closer to the water. This is one of the piers where you can just go and touch birds or water, but there are a few more of these piers. And the fun fact is that Panevėžys has a lot of sportsmen and has a quite active sports community, and triathletes, we were consulting triathletes because they are doing their swimming competition part in this pond. So one of these piers is actually adjusted so that they can jump to the water and swim. If you continue walking one of those routes from that park, you would end up in another park, which is very different. It's all lush and green. And in that park, our goal was to keep this beautiful landscape, not to ruin it, but to make it more like accessible. So we also have bridges that are accessible for everyone. Previously, there used to be a bridge with stairs, so now you can easily access smaller public spaces next to the water where you can cross also and move around in the park easier. Also playgrounds for various kids and various type of activities. And in the middle of that park, there is a manor, historical building. Maybe you can go next slide, it doesn't go. So that's how the building looked 10 years ago. It's historical brick building, but no kid was allowed to come closer to that building because all the worst activities were happening inside or around it. But municipality wanted to change, to renew the building and to add some new activities. But then the task was how to make this extra space for art residency, not ruining the beautiful building, but also not ruining the landscape. So what we proposed is to put the extra floor using the difference of the terrain. So if you come a bit back, if you come now today to this renovated art center from the old road to this old park, you see the renovated beautiful brick building. But if you come closer, you actually see there's something new. Or if you move around or you come from another side, so there is completely this new building with the residency spaces. A bit back. So there is the new part and old part and all the public space around merges in the park. The nice thing about this terrace is that it actually uses the old pieces of a previously standing barn here. Very popular terrace for poetry, readings, concerts, and events. And inside you have spaces that are renewed old spaces. Also, you can go down and then move to the new spaces where the space opens and then the landscape is somehow merged inside of the building, if you could go further. But we would like the most that actually life is happening in those buildings. There are all kinds of activities inside and outside happening in the building. And if we go next, so this little building is like a heart of the city, of the park, attracting everyone to come in. And now, just a few slides from the last city, Kaunas. So it uses the image that probably also you have in many of your cities, that the old town is separated with a huge highway from the river. If we go next, a few more slides. So we have these endless traffic lanes. At some points, it's even 8 lanes of traffic. And the goal of municipality and of us designers was how to change this profile of 8 lanes into more human street with a cycling route, pedestrian route, and trees. We were working with transport engineers. They calculated that, yes, there is actually a possibility to reduce some of the lanes and to get some space for greenery, for trees, for bicycles, for some activities along the water, so that the old town is much easier connected with the river. If we go next. Even in some spaces, we can get space for new development. And if we go next, so that story with the big highway is something that city wants to do, and some projects already started. While on the other side of the river, real estate developers already know that it's good to build next to the river. There is another project that is coming, and we are doing public spaces in that project. And I hope that after 2 years, I'll be back here to this event, and I will tell you the story how the city is living next to water in Kaunas. Thank you.